Hey, core reporters, and welcome back to my channel. We have to talk about this shocking out of left field beef that took place last night between rapper Chika and Zonnique as well. I can't, I don't even cover Chika and I don't cover Zonnique typically on my channel, but this story is just so outrageous. I felt like there's no way I could not discuss it because at this point, Chika girl, you need to do something about your anger issues. I remember seeing a commercial featuring her rapping or something at one point, and I was like, wow, she's a really good rapper. I hope she is able to grow a following or whatever. And that was it. But ever since, I've always heard exclusively, not songs from Chika, but like beefs involving Chika. And the most recent one is just so stunning to me. I can't. I know we all find babies crying on the plane at first thing in the morning or during the night flights, really, really annoying, but it's life, okay? Chika decided for whatever reason to go ahead, buy Wi-Fi on the plane just to not even complain. It's one thing if you complain about the baby crying. She decided to personally insult an infant and the child's mother as well. It was a really disgusting, unhinged rant. So why don't we get into what it is that she actually said? Okay, shall we? Sorry, I'm skipping ahead here. This is a screenshot that I was looking for. Here it is. The lady next to me who thought it would be a good idea to buy yourself and your twin infants first-class seats on a red-eye flight, who just woke me up by bringing your screaming bastard to our seats to soothe her. I just bought $34 Wi-Fi at 4 a.m. to call you a stupid bitch. So in that first tweet already, you've got Chika calling two random children bastards. Why? Why? You know what I mean? This is really disgusting, Chika. It's so vulgar. It's just so shocking and derogatory. And then she called the mom a stupid bitch for trying to quiet the babies. Is that not what you want, Chika, for the babies to stop crying? So why shouldn't the mom walk around with them to try to distract them and get them to stop crying? It's really you're damned if you do and damned if you don't when it comes to babies and people like Chika. So her second tweet was, P.S. I hate you and hope you get a paper cut between each finger tomorrow, you senseless wench. And that obviously is towards the mom, but it's still just really disgusting, really inflammatory, and just really just uncalled for. Her babies are crying. She's trying to stop them from crying by just walking around with them, comforting them and everything. And you're saying you hate her. She's a senseless witch. She is a bitch, and she deserves to get a paper cut in between each finger. For what, Chika? Literally, for what? And so in her last tweet, she said, are you literally mentally delayed? Which I do want to point out is quite alarming that someone with a sister who has Down syndrome would even put out such a tweet like that. Wow, girl, really? All this over a baby crying on a plane, which is something we all experience a lot of times when you fly. What makes you think a 1-year-old will shut their B-ass up on a 7-hour flight that takes off at 1 effing a.m.? You already had them up past bedtime. I don't care the circumstance. Take your ass to economy at least. So the children have been called bastards already, right? Their mom's been called a stupid bitch. She's a senseless wench. She deserves to be paper cut on every single finger. And then the mom is mentally delayed, according to Chika as well. And then on top of the other insults for the children, they're bees again. And it's just all just so vulgar, so disturbing. So when Chika tweeted this, and I remember seeing people buzzing about it, it was just a lot of people were in shock. It reminded us of that video of that man on the flight where he was screaming about a baby crying. And it was just really disturbing that someone this old would have a meltdown like this, right? So no one knew about the kids that she was tweeting about, right? Until Zonnique decided to enter the chat. So she posted this video on her Twitter account of her adorable, gorgeous babies in first class. And it says, wait, I'm in tears. Not Chikaboo was mad my child was cutting up in first class. You should have sat there and been mad, babe. She is sky priority AF, which I think is an awesome clapback, okay? The fact that this child is sky priority. And I don't want to be shady, okay? But when Chika was talking about first class, I was thinking the big first class, the one where you got the recline, it's the bed. I'm thinking, when you're going to Dubai first class. But this is Chika, the classism for this, stop, And speaking of the classism, Why does she feel like if you've got kids, you cannot fly with them in first class? You have to fly with them in coach. What is it about being in first class that means that you don't have to hear babies crying, but people in coach have to hear babies crying? Like, I felt like that was such a ridiculous thing. You want to flex that you've got some domestic first class seats that are not even all that special. Like, stop it, absolutely stop it. If you're so rich and big and bad and like you are too special or whatever to hear babies crying, go ahead, take your rich ass on over private jet things these days, right? Where you can have those kinds of memberships or whatever. Like, I don't understand why she didn't go down that road if she really wanted to flex and get away from the kids. So once Zonnique entered the chat and announced that those were her babies that Chika was talking about on Twitter, that's when Chika's past started getting brought up. Okay. So, according to some users on Twitter, Chika reportedly has a history of speaking down on Black children. So, let's take a look. So, this is Jupiter Jax. By the way, that orange hair looks fire on you, pun intended. She said, no, like finding out Chika was talking about Zonnique, a Black woman with Black kids, really says a lot. Her language was so coded, quote, wench, quote, bastard, quote, hoe, code actual promiscuity. Like, oh my God, I should have known. That evil ass B is so anti-Black. And Jupiter, I've got to agree with you. Like, it's so sad to me that Black women cannot walk around with their kids like without like their husband or whatever in the picture without people assuming that they're like single moms. Like, this stereotype is just so strong out there that like even other Black people like Chika have it so ingrained in themselves, like, so they're so indoctrinated in it that they see you this way. Anytime you have a kid, you're supposedly like automatically a single mom, and maybe the dad isn't even acknowledging the kid, and just all sorts of like really toxic, sad things. So I do appreciate people on Twitter like her posts pointing this out, because it is really toxic, it is really disturbing, and it definitely does need to be called out. So kudos to you, Jupiter. And then there were other users as well who jumped in on the chat. So for example, here, another example of her going in on Black children is by Sunflower Fro. So this was a throwback to when Chika took a photo of a really gorgeous girl who, by the way, had passed away, and Chika was aware that she was deceased, and she compared her to a skull and said happy Halloween, which again is very vile. It's even actually more vile than that disgusting airplane rant that she had gone on. And so that person said, just a reminder that this isn't the first or second time that Chika has attacked Black children, specifically little Black girls. This is just one example. And then another user shared another example of Chika doing just that. So this is Juki Jackson. And so here is a photo of Chika posting a photo of a little Black girl next to a dog. They kind of look alike, no, is what she asks about the photo. And so, yeah, this seems to be a pattern for Chika to speak in a very, very degrading, a derogatory, inflammatory, disgusting, honestly racist way about Black women and children. And oh my God, is it ever nasty. Now, Zonnique, you guys, I should have mentioned it at the top of my video. I apologize if you're not aware, but she is the daughter of Tiny, who is a music legend. She's from the group Escape alongside Candy Burris, and she's married to T.I., which is a legendary rapper, right? So Zonnique is the daughter of hip hop royalty, and her family showed up and showed out. T.I. has not yet released a statement, but just you wait, he absolutely will. He does not stay quiet, okay? So stay tuned for that. But his wife Tiny did come out and speak about this situation. She said, yeah, she's talking about my grandbaby, talking like she wasn't supposed to be in first class or something. The F. And so eye roll emojis and anger emojis, which I think is a very restrained and reasonable reaction to this, because if this were about, I don't have kids, but if this were about my nephew or something like that, I would be calling you every name in the book, okay? So Tiny really restricted herself here when it came to speaking about Chika's disgusting, disgusting, disgusting behavior. And so Zonnique's cousin, who was actually on the flight, had a lot more to say, okay? And mind you, she saw Chika in real life and she was pissed. She was like, Chika, how do you go on the internet and speak so degradingly about people? Meanwhile, when you're face to face with them, you've got nothing to say. Let's get into her rant, okay? She says, and I quote, let me put up Chika's photo because this is directed to Chika. So let's have her mug up here. You stupid ass B. That was me you were sitting next to. So let me enlighten you, dumb H. They weren't twin 1-year-olds. Okay. Those were the one was my 4-year-old child, and the other crying baby you're referring to was my niece, Zonnique's baby, and she is 2 years old. You're upset because she woke up for 3 minutes. Wow, all this for only 3 minutes, Chika? Girl. Crying out of her sleep like most effing children. And I did immediately calm her by holding her and talking to her because it was dark as hell. I can't believe you're that insensitive when she woke up once on a 5-hour flight from LA. And second off, it wasn't your seat from the beginning. You switched with someone else and sat your fat ass next to me and let me express the funk that you brought on top of that. Funk being smell, okay, you guys, not the funky attitude. Crazy shit was you in my ear saying those girls are so good before she woke up out of her sleep, scared, crying because it was pitch black and her TV had gone off, so she was startled. I appreciate all the things you wish for me, and I can't wait to see your ass again in person, B. You just mad a woman and 2 children could afford first class next to a peasant such as yourself. You are a fake B in person. Ooh, Lord. Chika, she chewed you up, girl. I don't know if you saw that comment, but she chewed you all the way up. And I'm sorry, when you do things like this, especially when you talk about children, all bets are off. People will call you any single thing. They will, they will attack you any which way. And I'm sorry, but when you bring children like that, you low-key deserve it. Okay, that was disgusting. Her rant that she went on. She was like, oh, like children. These children are a result of your actual promiscuity. These bastards. These this. These that. You wench. Like, who speaks like that? Who even thinks like that over the fact that a child was crying on a plane? I do wonder if Chika would have said these things if the children and the mother were not Black, because just based on her history, which I just showed you there, of attacking Black children, even one that she knew this one had been deceased, I have a feeling that she wouldn't have. And this was an Instagram blog that had shared the post and then had the cousin and Tiny commenting on it. And so Chika found her way to the post as well. And so she starts trying to play victim, saying, why is this necessary? F this bum ass page. So she's upset that she's being called out for her disgusting derogatory words towards children and mothers, which is really ridiculous to me. And so she actually goes on a brazen Instagram stories rant a little later, pretty much refusing to apologize, right? So she says, stay mad. Being upset at a person ranting about an annoying baby that woke them up at 4 a.m. is a cute way to make you feel like you're morally superior to someone. You're literally not. Like I've been saying, I wasn't rude to her, and that's what I'm good with. I have the decency to be mad externally somewhere else. My only mistake was doing it on Twitter. I don't feel bad because the response is disproportionate to the mistake. But like, do your thing, internet. Y'all already ain't like me. This ain't nothing new. Okay, drop the victim act, girl. Like, stop. And a big reason people don't like you is because you're always getting into these nasty fights for literally no reason. And then you're going back and trying to cry victim later. Like this is a you problem that you cause. And yes, you are allowed to be irritated and upset that a child is crying on a plane. We all get that way. But to go and rant, call the child a B, call the child a bastard, and just say all sorts of horrific things about these children, that's unacceptable. And then to insult the mother, claim that she's actually promiscuous and that's why she's got 2 kids. To say that she's a wench, she deserves to be injured with paper cuts. She's stupid. She might be mentally delayed. That is not normal, Chika. I know you talk about having a therapist or something, but maybe you need like a psychiatrist or just someone who can figure out what is going on in your head that you think it's normal to think this way about people. It's just a disgusting way to view the world. It truly is. And I feel bad for you that this is the way your brain works, that when you're inconvenienced by something that is just so normal in life, your go-to isn't to insult children and insult their parents as well, and just to say these cruel, disgusting, nasty, humiliating things to your public. You have at least 500 people who follow you on Twitter, of your fans. You're a public figure, Chika. You cannot say these sorts of things. It's disgusting. And it's not even about protecting your image. It's about get help so your brain does not think this way, because this is just a sad way to live. It truly is. My God, what a miserable person. Guys, let me know what you think about this situation. And I do also have a question. Do you think that Zonnique's dad, T.I., is going to step into the chat at a certain point? I personally do. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel for an update on when, not if, T.I. gets in on this conversation. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.